Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. When Calls the Heart Season 13. This is when Elizabeth and Nathan return to Hope Valley. When Calls the Heart Season 12 ended with a shocking cliffhanger. Elizabeth and little Jack left for Cape Fullerton to get treatment for his diabetes. However, before they left Hope Valley, Nathan and Allie joined them. This scene left Hardys concerned that Season 13 will be missing Aaron Krakow and Kevin McGarry's characters. Thanks to Jack Wagner, who is currently promoting his return to The Bold and the Beautiful, teased what will happen to this couple. Hardys, please note, there are some spoilers here. Ever since the When Calls the Heart Season 12 finale episode, Hardys have been concerned that Aaron Krakow and Kevin McGarry were leaving the series. Going to Cape Fullerton was far from the gentle Hope Valley life. Although new showrunner Joy Gregory has confirmed that Elizabeth and Nathan were indeed part of Season 13, she did not elaborate on how long they would be in Cape Fullerton. However, thanks to Jack Wagner, who spoke to TV Insider, Hardys now can be assured that their favorite couple will be back. But when? Jack revealed that the school teacher and the Mountie would be returning back in the first episode. We've got to get Nathan and Elizabeth back because they leave at the end of Season 12. They come back in the first episode, and it's about their return and what life looks like for little Jack, Highland Goodrich, now being insulin dependent, and how that's going to evolve into town. How are we going to upgrade the medical situation, etc.? This is going to be a huge relief for Hardys to know that Elizabeth and Nathan will be returning to Hope Valley in the first Season 13 episode. Moreover, this means that there is some sort of time jump. They would have been in Cape Fullerton managing little Jack's diabetes at the excellent facility there. In a recent interview, Jack Wagner alludes to an upgraded medical facility in Hope Valley. How will that happen in When Calls the Heart Season 13? The actor who portrays Bill Avery on the Hallmark series hinted that there was going to be a way that the couple could return to Hope Valley. However, Jack Wagner presents something very important. How will the Hallmark series showrunner and writers upgrade the Hope Valley medical care? An obvious solution would be to bring Dr. Carson Shepard back to Hope Valley. Paul Green's character could have helped with diabetes research and could set up shop in Hope Valley. Moreover, this would be a great reason to have two doctors in town. When Calls the Heart Season 13 starts production on Tuesday, July 1, in the Vancouver, BC area. The stars have already headed to this Canadian city to do their costume fittings. They all need to be dressed and ready for action that first day. Obviously the first script is out, as Jack Wagner can talk about what happens. Hopefully when Kevin McGarry promotes his new passport to Love Movie Villa Amour with Eloise Mumford, he can share more information about Elizabeth and Nathan's return to Hope Valley. Hardys, are you relieved that Elizabeth and Nathan will be back in Hope Valley in the first episode of When Calls the Heart Season 13? Elizabeth Thornton stood at the crest of the hill overlooking Hope Valley, the golden light of early morning filtering through the whispering pines. It had been months, quiet, steady, slow, drawing her back home. The past 13 seasons had etched the township into her heart, small-town grit, the camaraderie of neighbors, and the endless promise of new beginnings. Now, as portable crates and trunks moved toward the modest white house near the railway station, the silhouette of her husband, Nathan Grant, stepped into view. It felt miraculous, like a dream half remembered, but rising to full color with each step he took. When Calls the Heart Season 13 awakens with that very moment. Elizabeth and Nathan returning to Hope Valley after months away for expansion work. A schoolhouse project in a neighboring township and aid for Western settlements. Their absence was felt across the valley. The whispers at Miller's Taqueria, the empty desk at the schoolhouse, the waiting glances at the train platform. Even Spirit, Elizabeth's beloved dog, had padded around the farmhouse, as though sensing a void only her family could fill. The story begins with the morning dew still clinging to the wildflowers and the low hum of fields awakening to a new day. Elizabeth's carriage jolts over the same dirt road where she once learned to drive, where Nathan had proposed in the fading light of a summer solstice. They share a smile, that gentle knowing look of two people intimately familiar with both struggle and triumph. Their old life awaits them, the heartbeats of Hope Valley in every barn beam, every woven blanket in Abigail's home, every lantern lit at twilight. Nathan, sturdy as the frontier, had made him yet softer in spirit, surveys the town with longing in his eyes. He knows the challenges ahead. A new school expansion to accommodate more children, improvements to the medical office, and perhaps a community hall where neighbors can gather through winter's long nights. But he's ready, grounded by Elizabeth's faith, their shared sense of purpose, and the unspoken promise of Hope Valley's future. Elizabeth steps into the schoolhouse, a room filled with polished desks, fresh chalk dust, and a chalkboard awaiting her handwriting. She breathes it in. Stories of pioneers who arrived seeking freedom and safety swirl through her mind. She's home, to her calling, her heart, and the children who need her gentle guidance more than ever. She begins by embracing the smallest voices. A new immigrant child uncertain of English, a shy orphan boy drawn to her warm blue eyes, a fiery young girl eager to write her name in the ledger of life. Meanwhile, Nathan reconnects with Lee, Jesse, and Constable Jack Thornton, gathering to discuss the upcoming Founders' Day celebrations. They want more than fireworks, they want a legacy. The memory of coal mines past, the labor of old sawmills, the laughter echoing from Franklin's Pond. They want to unify the community around a vision of the future. With Elizabeth's help, they plan an evening gathering under the oaks, a history walk, lantern-lit pathways, and a new bench dedicated to the women whose quiet courage built the town. Tensions ripple gently beneath the surface. The Mullins family, still feeling the ache of the past, wonder if the reunion with Elizabeth and Nathan might bring both light and old shadows. Abigail, newly ambitious in her laundry-turned-linens enterprise, debates whether to expand to an outlet store in a nearby city. Rosemary, fiery and principled, advocates for a reading circle in the schoolhouse. As Elizabeth and Nathan arrive, they bring perspective. The bigger world beyond the valley hasn't changed their belief in the small things, the handshake, the potluck, the Sunday service at Street Mary's, and that is exactly what everyone needs to hear. The season's emotional anchor is found one dusty March afternoon, when trunk-laden wagons set out to carry new desks and textbooks to an outlying settlement. Elizabeth climbs into Nathan's wagon. They travel the winding trail together. Warmth blooms between them, two souls forged in hardship, relying on one another, ever driven by faith. They stop at a creek to help stranded families bring supplies across shallow rapids, and in that moment, their love is as plain and strong as the gentle current around their boots. Each episode weaves in smaller stories. A young ranch hand finding redemption after poor choices. Sarah and Vandermeer's evolving friendship over a shared compassion for two lost children. Bill Avery's quiet return from a railroad job, bringing with him a vision to improve the train station. These threads tie into Elizabeth and Nathan's return, reminding everyone in Hope Valley that healing and growth often come quietly, in the spaces between sorrow and joy.